All right, welcome to Two Guys Garage. Now reach down and lock the hubs on the Lazy Boy. Today we're supercharging Jeeps.
Now guess what we're doing after today? We're going off-roading. Yeah, buddy. We got 2 Jeeps here, so one for each. We haven't decided who gets what. Maybe after we get all the parts on, we can Rochambeau it.
That's right. The only way these get better if you wrap it in bacon.
Let's start with Jeep number 1. 2006 TJ. It's got the inline 4-liter motor, making about 190 horsepower, 235 foot-pounds from the factory. Nothing crazy, but a heck of a ball of good fun.
Yeah, man, but Jeeps, as you know, never were pounding the pavement, stoplight to stoplight. Let's be honest, they take off like a herd of turtles. But you put them in 4WD, and that's when they go all Chuck Norris. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, Chuck Norris, and something like this Rubicon.
Yeah.
It is wicked, man.
Well, they don't call it rock crawling, you know, because you're going 180 mile an hour.
Right.
You know? But like you said, you put it in those gears and you can really just crank and build torque. So even though it's just a 4-liter engine, it's still going to get you some big mountain climbing, some big dune crossing.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Like these Rubicons, for example, man, they are straight boss out on the trail. On the fly, you can lock both discs, front and rear. They'll climb anything, man, stacked up with some Dana 44s underneath it. Those things really get down on the trail.
Yes, you can pick your model, where do you want to start playing, but nobody keeps them stock, and we're not going to do that either. So this guy, you can see we've already started tearing into the front. Radiator's out, we're pulling some things apart, because unlike wrapping in bacon, it doesn't make you go fast. Superchargers do.
Yes, man. From Magnum Powers, we have a supercharger. Kit's really easy to install. It's going to be simple to put on there and give you a nice boost in both that horsepower and that torque, which is really needed out on the trail.
Yeah. Now this system is sized not for all-out racing. You don't see giant, high horsepower components. You see right-sized Jeep-type big torque, but the power that goes with it.
It's all about efficiency when you get to something like this and where you can have usable power at, which for a guy like that is all out on the trail, sitting with this guy, spooling it up on top.
Yeah, you want off idle all the way through full torque and then pick up the power on top. Yeah. About 115 horsepower, 100 foot-pounds in this package, and with a few other additional mods like throttle body and a pulley, you can bump it up even higher.
Yeah, man. Okay, back at our TJ. First couple steps, really easy. Let's get this belt off here, get this out of the way so we can start pulling the alternator bracket pulleys, make way for our supercharger.
All right, now we've got the radiator out, we've got the condenser pulled back, and got a little support bracket right here to pull out of the way to make room for our heat exchanger. So this guy is going to drop right in here. There's actually a lot of room between our condenser and our front sort of grill opening here. This will close back in. Now this is going to pull all the heat away because we're going to compress air with the supercharger. While we're doing that, to push air in, we're going to build some heat. Well, there's an intercooler here to suck the heat out, bring it up to the front. Heat exchanger is going to blow it out to the air, and we can continue that loop and continually cool that supercharged gas so we make more horsepower up front. So I'm going to mount this guy here, package this back in, and start routing my lines.
I figured while we're down this far and we really visible on them, might as well throw some new plugs in this pup. New supercharger, you want new plugs, right? Let me show you these cool plugs we got. Now these are from E3. Really cool stuff here, man. I don't know if you've seen these before, but I'll show them to you. So it's basically a really unique ground strap on this thing, the ground electrode. Now what that's gonna do is encourage a lot of turbulence in that air-fuel mix, all right? That's gonna lend to a more complete burn. Obviously, that's better power, more efficiency. Now this ground electrode, you take a good look at it. It's got a lot of sharp edges compared to, say, a conventional ground strap on the plug, right? Now what that's gonna do is reduce a lot of that metal erosion because the spark's not going to the same place. When it fires off that, it's coming out this side, it's coming out that side, coming out that side. That's gonna give these E3 plugs a super long life. So think about it. You get a more consistent spark that equates to a larger flame front, right? Better burn, that's gonna give you a better mixture, more energy. So we'll get these E3 plugs in there, thing be purring like a little kitten.
Today, we're finishing our dent repair project. Previously, we completed the prep, repair, and fill steps, and then added primer, final prep, and paint. In the finish steps, we fix any surface imperfections. Use 2000 grit sandpaper to remove orange peel and surface imperfections, like fine scratches and dust particles. Now we can jump to Trizac 3000 grit abrasive to refine the previous sand scratches and reduce compounding time. All final sanding steps are wet sanded to improve cutting performance and reduce friction. For someone that wants to reduce compounding time even further, 3M has introduced a Trizac 5000 grit sandpaper. Without even using compound, we basically sanded the shine back into the panel. Now we're ready for the 3M rubbing compound. This liquid abrasive will remove all 3000 or 5000 grit scratches. For medium and darker colored vehicles, use 3M scratch remover to further brighten the surface and enhance the clear coat shine. And check out the results. This tip is brought to you by 3M Auto. Smarter solutions through science.
Hey, welcome back. Now we are officially up to here on our Magnum Power Supercharger kit for our TJ Jeep. But somehow we still have a lot of parts on the table, so I'm going to grab a couple, keep on installing. So what we're going to work on next is we've got our intercooler and our heat exchanger system going in. This is going to be our pusher pump. So this is going to push all the coolant from our intercooler up through into our heat exchanger that we just mounted up front. This guy is going to sit down in here like this, mount it down there. I got some bracketry. This is our expansion tank or a reservoir, so you can pop this cap, just like a radiator. You can put all your coolant in here. This guy will kind of mount like so, and then all we got to do is intercooler routing, heat exchanger routing, put some hoses on. That system is starting to get buttoned up and we keep working on.
All right, now we removed the alternator, got it out of the way, kind of moved over an AC line so we can get our top bracket of our Magnum Power Supercharger in here. Really cool how they use all the stock sort of bolt holes and components. Not too much on the fab side of things, makes it really simple and easy. So we'll get this bolt in here, line that guy up, hand tight like that. And the alternator obviously sit right back in play. Here's our pin here. We won't release that until we have the supercharger actually on for the tension of it. Couple steps here, be ready to get everything bolted back in and get that shiny pretty girl sitting right up here up top. All right, man, just finishing up our Magnum Power Supercharger. Tell me this thing doesn't look intimidating sitting right up here. I love it.
Yeah, and we got the supercharger mounting over there, of course, and we got the intercooler sitting down right here. Now this is where the throttle body used to sit, so we're going to move it to the back side of the supercharger on the inlet there. Now the nice thing about this kit, you got an adapter plate here for the original throttle body. So the power levels that we're throwing down on it, that guy will work just fine. But when you want to turn up the wick, the adapter plate comes off, up to 85mm throttle body goes right on there, opens the door for some big power gain.
Yeah, man, and just from the factory, just stock at 9 pounds of boost. Look what you're gaining with this guy. You're going from 130 horsepower at the rear tire to 250. And the big number, the fun number, is torque. You're looking at 205 at the rear tire from the factory. With this guy, over 350. All right, 9 pounds of boost. Let me show you something else that's really cool about these Magnum Power Superchargers. Now, they use their own independent drive system. They use the pulleys that you would pull that dampener off with, the bolt hose that you would pull it off with, and they have their own independent pulley here. That way it's free of the serpentine system that comes from the factory, and that makes it easy to switch out pulleys, get bigger boost, bigger numbers, and so forth.
Yeah, so to get an over or under drive the way you need it, you don't have to mess with the stock system. Now this guy will connect the two here, feed the air over and down. We got everything else plumbed pretty much, and the last thing is fuel. You're driving around a performance vehicle, whether it's a Corvette, something off-road, heavy duty, you need a brake pad that can handle the kind of hard driving you're going to put on them. Now check these out from Akibono. This is the ultra premium ceramic brake pads. And they've got a lot of great features to them. Now NVH is a big one when you're stepping up to a premium pad. That means squeals, squeaks, all kinds of things, the features they put in like slots, chamfers, the damping plate, so it's going to make all those noises just kind of disappear. So you're going to ride around in some style, but the compounds are also going to give you really heavy-duty braking performance. Now the ceramic also can help with that dusting that you get on your wheels. So every time you go for a nice aggressive drive and a semi-metallic or low metallic like the OEs provide, you're going to have black dust over. You're going to get out there and clean instead of get out there and drive. So to really step it up in all the categories for brake performance, check out Akebono. It's their ultra premium ceramic brake pads, made in the USA and available at Federated Auto Parts.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by StarTron, enzyme fuel treatment for all engines.
All right, man, talk about a 4-liter that packs a serious punch. This thing's got it. Just buttoning up our Magnum Power Supercharger, adding a lot of fun, a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque to those rear tires. What you think, Kev? Looks pretty intimidating sitting here, right?
I see a lot of shine coming through over there, man.
See a lot of shine here, a lot of horsepower and fun back there, man.
Well, while Willie works on that, I'm going to get on this bracket here. Now, we're right on the trail. You want to make sure you got plenty of gear. You break down, plenty of water, all that good stuff. Another good idea is to have a spare tire. Well, unfortunately, when they upgraded the tire size on this Jeep, it hit the bumper. So the bracket doesn't quite line up anymore. So I'm making an adapter bracket, which is going to move up about 2 inches and out so the tire clears that bumper. Now, here's the tacked together version I'm about to weld up. Now, I've got a second one here. Now, why did I make two? Well, because it was easy, and I'm sure somebody else, you know, call me up if you need one. I'll get you a good price. Might need one too, so I've got a spare. So I cut this out on our Tracker CNC. Now, it's a ProTable CNC plasma cutting system. Now, it's really awesome. I've made thousands of brackets over my life, and it's not that hard, right? You shear this out, you bandsaw it, however you want to do it. You're cutting holes, you know, with a paper template, transfer it over. It's simple. But what's even more easy, a couple of swipes of the mouse, or even scanning in that template or a photo, and it automatically creates a pattern, puts my holes in it, whatever size and shape I want, whatever thickness I want, up to about 1 inch of steel, and all kinds of materials. So I can make one really fast, I save a lot of time, or I can make hundreds or thousands, or just one for my buddy. Now, these guys are great. It's a great update because the Tracker CNC plasma cutting system has unlimited training, killer service, and 3-year warranty. Now, pick one up in your shop, but in the meantime, I'm going to get this thing welded up so we can get that spare tire on there and get out on the trails.
Okay, guys, if you're driving around in some pajama party Barbie Jeep, it's trying to dust it off, make your truck meat and potato style. You could do it with this tire right here from Achilles. It's a Desert Hawk XMT, and this thing's awesome. Take a good look at this 3-step up sort of tread pattern. It's a 3-block tread pattern. It's gonna provide a lot of stability and yet bite on anything you put underneath it. Rock, sand, dirt, mud, you name it, this tire can handle it. It's got a really cool sidewall. It's called X Protection. It's gonna help you against any sort of tears that you find on sharp, jagged rocks and so forth. Now, you can find this tire at tires-easy.com. Largest supplier of all kinds of tires, regardless of what you're driving. Trucks, SUVs, passenger cars. They have a 45-day return policy. That is awesome, no questions asked. So again, tires-easy.com. Find you something like this Achilles Desert Hawk XMT. Guys, most of us work in shops where we need heat through the winter months, me included. I've got a big shop in the back of my house, and this year propane, which I use to heat my shop, went from $1 a gallon to over $4 a gallon. So me and a lot of you guys are looking into something like this, the Lanier MX200 waste oil heater. Let's face it, we all generate used oil in our cars, trucks, vehicles, and so forth. So let's talk about 3 things: savings, liability, and environment. Potentially, you can produce free heat by just dumping your old waste oil right into this 215-gallon tank and you just burn it up. Liability. Did you know that your company, if it generates waste oil, is responsible to follow that waste oil through its journey into its final resting spot or disposal spot? If not, you face criminal liability regardless of how far removed you are from the process. And environment is EPA-approved way of disposing of your old used oil. So check it out from Lanier, the MX200 waste oil heater.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Seatbelt Solutions, the safest seatbelt money can buy.
Okay, welcome back. Now, you know us two guys want to go jeeping. We got two Jeeps. Let's get them for some fun, right? So when I was out driving this guy, test driving it, I felt the pulsation in the pedal. Well, we can't have that, not when you have something like this laying around your shop. Now, this is from ProCut. It's basically a rotor matching system, and this thing is awesome. Now, I'm gonna turn it on, and it's gonna figure out what they call run out. Now, I'll explain that while this machine is doing it. Now, you hear that clicking? Now, run out is basically all those intolerances that you're gonna find in the wheel hub. Now, regardless of whether or not there's a new rotor, all right, or you go and get it cut. You hear that, figuring it out? All those tolerances, those bearings stacked up on that, regardless if it's a brand new rotor or you go and get it turned, you're still gonna mate it against the back of that hub, and it's still gonna have all that run out in it. And this machine is the only way to actually eliminate that run out that you're gonna find. All right, so it's gonna figure it out right now as you hear those clicks going on. Now we're just gonna wait until that thing gets down to zero. Well, actually you can see it right now. It's already 0.8. Now what that's saying, you remember when it started, it was like 10, right? So that's saying by the time we get done cutting this rotor, the most run out it's gonna have is 8/10 thousandths of an inch, which is absolutely nothing. So let's get this thing in gear. I'll show you how it works. I'm gonna run this guy in about 1/3 of the way into the rotor. I'm gonna give it what's called a scratch touch, okay? Now basically, I'm gonna give it a little kiss on the backside. All right, so a little dial like this, and you'll actually hear it. Hear that? Okay, now I wanna give it a little kiss on this front side as well. And you'll see some of that run out, that intermittent hit that I'm talking about. Now you see that? That sort of pulsation? Now I'm gonna run it all the way in. And you can see that sort of intermittent hit on the rotor. Now I want to take it to about where this rust mark is, right here. And something else that's a really cool feature is you'll see that this is actually a linear transducer. And what that means is it actually makes this a live micrometer. And you're gonna get a reading of what the actual thickness of the rotor is. So it bounces from that run out to how thick the actual runner is. Kind of cool, right? So now before I begin, what I want to do is I want to turn these in about 6,000, 7,000ths. So I'm going to turn the back one first. That's about these lines right here. I'm going to go about 6 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same way up front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now we'll lock these guys down. Give them a good, light, tight little kiss like this. And this is a silencer, like a chip reflector. So I want to put this guy just over top of this. That way you don't make a big mess, makes it a little more quiet. Put the spring underneath here so it doesn't bounce away. And then I just hit this guy, and I'm gonna go warm up, heat up a honey bun or something, while this guy does its job. What, you don't like honey buns? And just like that, man, time is money, and in less than 9 minutes, you got a full
Come
on.
on, man, hurry up. I've been waiting for like not very long.
You see how fast that brake job was? It's awesome.
I gotta get in here and replace these lines.
All right, what you got?
We're gonna upgrade. So we're gonna be on the trail, right? You need rugged, you need durability, and you need not that mushy pedal. Because when you're articulating over rocks, right?
Yeah.
You want control of that brake pedal. So we're gonna upgrade. We got Crown Performance.
Nice.
Now these are DOT approved and full-on trail type stuff.
Yeah, man. Tough stuff, 5 layers, Kevlar, stainless steel, anything you could want in a brake line.
Yeah, 4,500 PSI rated, so plenty for this application. Get out of my way so I can get in there and access this thing.
Well, excuse
Step it up a little bit.
That's
right.
the brake line, man. Get to work.
Keep going.
For more information about anything you've seen in today's show, check out mavtv.com or visit our website at TwoGuysGarage.com.
Now, in the old days, it didn't matter what it was. We were going to stick our hands up in it. We were going to get gritty, grimy, dirty, greasy, stick our hands in chemicals that didn't seem so bad at the time, but now we know better. Now today, get yourself a good set of gloves, a whole lineup of nitrile gloves from Medina. Now these are great because you can get kind of the light colored blues, but you can get also the automotive kind of black. So you can get nice and greasy, doesn't show up so much. At the end of the job, you pitch them, your hands are nice and clean, you go home nice and healthy. Now you can start with 4 mil, 6, 9 mil, so you can get whatever dexterity you want, or if you need to get heavy duty, you can step up to the 9. A lot of guys like to go with the 6 mil, a really great, dexterity, a little bit of surface finish on there, so you can still do your work, you can still go home. Again, nice and safe and clean. Pick them up, Adidas, all sorts of nitrile gloves. You ever get engine bay envy? Yeah, you look over the guy next to you, pops the hood, it's all clean, it's got a little shine to it. You think you hear angels singing? Yeah, well, it's a couple secrets here. One of them is gunk. This is the original engine degreaser. You spray it on, let it soak for a few minutes, hose it off, maybe hit some of the tough spots with a brush. That thing will be spotlessly clean, looks really nice. And then to top it all off from gunk, you've got the engine protector. It's a great way to leave that little satin kind of shine to it. Makes it easier to clean the next time, but it makes it look great until then. So go out there and make everybody else envious of everything you've got hiding under your hood. And you can pick it up at Federated Auto Parts.
Okay, here we are, man, all buttoned up, ready for some mud, some rocks, some dirt, and some fun.
Yeah, well, I think we should quit yapping and just fire this thing up.
I got you, bro. All right, you ready?
Oh, get on it. Get on it. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah, you hear that whistle? Uh-huh. Look,
Sounds
man,
good,
now
man.
the big question is which one we're going to take.
Both of them.
All right, yeah, but which one are you going to drive? Which one am I going to drive? The Supercharged 4.0 liter or the Rubicon?
Supercharger's cool.
Want to Rochambeau?
Rubicon's nice.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, mud. I got you, man. My choice. You can't beat mud. I don't care if you got scissors. So I want this. I want that. You know what? They're both fun. How about we trade off?
Perfect.
All right, man.